I knew that buying this for like 40 bucks was a good idea. With the Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald coming out tonight, and I'll be watching that and reviewing it in the next 24 hours, I thought it'd be a good chance to go back and review Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the first film of a 5-film franchise. But luckily for me, and probably most of you, we're all fans of the Wizarding World. But as I mentioned, this is the first of potentially 5 films for the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Part of the Wizarding World or Harry Potter franchise, depending on how you want to call it. This movie was directed by David Yates. He's also directing The Crimes of Grindelwald and Fantastic Beasts 3, 4, and 5. He also directed The Order of the Phoenix, The Half-Blood Prince, The Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2. And he's done other stuff, but really that's the only thing that really matters. This movie has Colin Farrell, Eddie Redmayne, Ron Perlman, some others like Dan Fogler, Ezra Miller, Johnny Depp, Jon Voight, Catherine Waterston. This film grossed over $800 million in the box office. A lot of it coming from foreign, but that also can count England, just so you know, Americans. Fun fact, this is the first Harry Potter film or anything of its spin-off franchise to win an Oscar. It won Best Costume Design. This movie, which I get it, it's a set piece, it's, back in the early 1900s. So yeah, there's cool costumes there, but really, none of the other Harry Potter films, out of the 8 of them, none of them won any other Oscar. Come on, Academy. James Newton Howard composed this film's score, and I bet you $5 if you go look at his filmography, you have seen one film of his, if not 2 or 3, where he composed. But as I mentioned the cast, this is a star-studded cast. This movie and the rest of the series is all based on a textbook from the Harry Potter series, which I guess, if I was being honest with myself, if I was given the option to create what probably will be $3 billion to $4.5 billion franchise after the end of all the movies, from a textbook within a book, yeah, sign me up. Because if you think about it, if all of them get over $800 million in the box office, if all of them get over that amount, then we're talking $4 billion. So I'm saying $3 billion just in case, feelings peter off there, or up to 4.5 or 5 billion just in case one of them, maybe 2 of them, goes over that billion mark. We'll see with the Crimes of Grindelwald. But to get to this movie, I kind of want to review it in 2 ways. There's the personal route, which I love. I love Harry Potter, and this is a return to the Wizarding World, so why wouldn't I like it? And there's the critic side, who kind of argues that you're watching kind of 2 films that sometimes come together to make a singular plot, and kind of a long-winded movie at times. I know this is like hypocritical for me to do it, but I don't know, kind of devil's advocate situation here. But if it was just all personal, I'd give it 10 out of 10. I loved it. I love going back to Harry Potter world. I mean, the Wizarding World, essentially. And I've been to Universal Studios Harry Potter World, obviously. But man, seeing it in the theaters again, because I went to the Wizarding World after I watched all the movies, and I went there twice before in my life. And seeing this film was the first time for me to go back into the Wizarding World in terms of film, or like I'll just seen it on screen after seeing it in person, and that was fracking cool. And I saw it with a bunch of Harry Potter nerds. Shout out to you, sis. And it was a lot of fun, man. And that twist at the end, oof, I'm not going to drop it here, but I mean, if you're watching this, you probably already know it, so no need to spoil it for the ones who haven't. On my critic side, it says, holy crap, you can see that a mile away. But on the personal side, I wasn't paying attention. I was just having fun. It was just a fun Harry Potter film. But critically, there's some eyesores throughout the film, or just like plot devices or ex machinas. And, critically, I'm just like, holy shit, why doesn't he have the suitcase in Muggle mode the entire time? Kind of thing. But you don't see that when you're a big fan of the film. So critically, I'd still give it either a 7 or 8. Probably stick with the 7, just because I still think critically I'd be a little bit biased still. But 7 out of 10 for critic-wise, and then 10 out of 10 personal-wise, which is a huge difference. I mean, that still equals out to an 8.5 average. and between the two, which I think is right where this movie should be. Yeah, there's some things you can gripe about and some things you might not like, but then you get to see Ron Perlman in a full CGI. Well, it's kind of like Gollum, but obviously not as good as Gollum kind of CGI, where I could see Ron Perlman's face in there in this goblin creature. And stuff like that is like super cool. And all the new spells and how magic is done and used in the world. Some character moments between some of our leads, or the supporting leads, or the supporting actors and actresses. They're just really, really well done scenes. So, obviously, if you're a Harry Potter freak, you've probably seen this film. But if you haven't seen this film, and you might go see The Crimes of Grindelwald, then why not check this out? You have time between now and when you probably want to watch it, because you probably don't want to go watch The Crimes of Grindelwald with all of us weirdos in the theater. So maybe wait a week or two and then see Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them in the meantime, and then go out and see The Crimes of Grindelwald. But if you're not into magic, or if you're not into set movies, like period movies where it's back in the olden times, but not that olden times, then skip out on this, and you'll probably want to skip out on the next one. But maybe jump into Fantastic Beasts 5, because maybe then, who knows, we might be in the 40s or 50s. We'll find out when we get there in like 2024, whenever it's going to come out. I think it's announced for 2024, give or take. But that's it for this film. I kind of just want to put my quick thoughts into it and just kind of point out like all the fun stuff that was involved with this film. But I'll go in depth for The Crimes of Grindelwald once I see it tonight, and once I get the review up either tonight or tomorrow, depending on how the scheduling goes and how late we get out of the film. But as always, my name is Clark Addison. I review entertainment because I care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.